Here's a question no financial advisor will ever ask you. What if the safest thing you were ever taught to do with your money is also the thing quietly destroying your future? In the next 8 minutes, I am going to show you the exact three-rung system that separates people who build real wealth from people who just feel wealthy. We are going to look at the actual math the banking industry counts on you never running, talk about the psychological trap that keeps even high earners stuck, and lay out a simple framework you can apply to your finances this week. No jargon, no gatekeeping, just the honest mechanics of how money actually works in a world built on inflation. Let me tell you about two brothers. Call them David and Marcus. They grew up in the same house, got the same advice from their parents. Work hard, spend less, save everything you can. Both of them followed the plan perfectly. At 35, both David and Marcus had $50,000 sitting in their respective savings accounts. David was proud of it. He slept well knowing that money was there, safe, untouched. Marcus made one different decision. He figured out how much he actually needed for emergencies, about 3 months of living costs, roughly $12,000, and moved the remaining $38,000 into a low-cost index fund. Then he automated a monthly contribution and mostly forgot about it. Fast forward 25 years, David still has a savings account. It has grown slightly. Inflation has chewed through most of those gains. His $50,000 feels like $50,000, but it buys significantly less. Marcus's portfolio, the $38,000 he moved at age 35, left alone at an average 10% annual return, grew to approximately $411,000. Combined with continued contributions, he retired early. The only difference between them was what they believed money was supposed to do. Here is the number nobody puts in a savings account brochure. If inflation runs at 3% annually and your savings account pays you 0.5% in interest, you are not breaking even. You are losing 2.6% of your purchasing power every single year. On $50,000, that's $1,300 quietly evaporating in year one, $1,334 in year two, because inflation compounds. Over a decade, you could lose the equivalent of $13,000 in real purchasing power without spending a single cent. That's not a savings account. That's a slow leak. And here's the part that makes it worse. The bank is not losing money on this deal. While your purchasing power shrinks, they're lending your exact deposit out as car loans at 7%, personal loans at 15%, and credit card balances at 24% or more. They're making double-digit returns on your capital while paying you fractions of a percent. You are the raw material. Their profit margin is your financial ignorance. This is not a willpower problem. It's a wiring problem. When your ancestors were living in an unpredictable world, hoarding resources meant survival. A full storehouse meant you would make it through winter. That instinct still lives inside every one of us. Behavioral finance researchers call one version of this loss aversion, the psychological reality that losing $1,000 feels roughly twice as painful as gaining $1,000 feels good. So when you see a stable bank account versus a fluctuating investment account, your brain instinctively labels the bank account as safe and the market as a threat. But here's the trap. The bank balance only looks stable. The number on the screen holds steady, but the value of every single dollar inside it is declining in real terms every single day. The investment account fluctuates wildly in the short term, and that volatility feels dangerous, but its long-term trajectory is upward. The U.S. stock market has averaged roughly 10% annual returns over the past century, through recessions, crashes, wars, and pandemics. Your brain sees a moving number and calls it risky. The truth is that the still number is the dangerous one. So what is the actual answer? It's not drain your account and throw everything into the market tomorrow. That's panic in the opposite direction. The answer is a structured system I call the liquidity ladder. 3 rungs. Each dollar has a specific home, and once each bucket is full, every new dollar moves up automatically. This is your checking account. Its only job keeping your life running without friction. How much? 1 month of your actual monthly expenses, plus a small buffer so you never overdraft. That's it. You don't need 2 months here, you don't need 3. Every dollar above that number in your checking account is idle. This is your real emergency fund. Its purpose is not returns, it's not investment growth. It's a firewall that protects your other assets from being liquidated at the worst possible time. If you're single and renting, 3 months of essential expenses. If you have dependents, a mortgage, or a variable income, aim for 6 months. This fund lives in a high-yield savings account earning 4 or 5%, not in a standard savings account earning almost nothing. Once this bucket is full, you stop adding to it. This is critical. Most people keep pouring money into their emergency fund long after it's full. It's not responsible. At that point, you're just hoarding. Every single dollar that comes in after rung 2 is full goes here, no exceptions. This is your investment portfolio. Tax-advantaged retirement accounts first, then a taxable brokerage account, low-cost index funds that give you ownership in thousands of companies across the global economy. This is where the compounding happens. This is where the real math runs in your favor instead of against you. To put a specific number on it, if you kept $40,000 in excess cash above your actual emergency needs versus deploying it at 10% average annual returns, that $40,000 becomes approximately $697,000 over 30 years. Your decision to park that money in a low-yield account did not cost you nothing. It cost you $657,000. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. What if I invest right before a crash? That fear is real and it's valid. Here's how you neutralize it. If you have a lump sum sitting in excess cash right now, divide it into 6 equal portions. Set up an automatic transfer on the first of the month. One portion moves into your index fund each month for the next 6 months. This is called dollar cost averaging, and it does something powerful psychologically. It removes the decision from you entirely. And if the market drops after your first transfer, you don't panic. You actually benefit because the next 5 portions will buy more shares at a lower price, pulling your average cost down. Volatility stops being your enemy and becomes your discount. The goal here is to automate the entire system. Once your checking account hits a certain level, the excess sweeps into your investment account automatically. You stop making emotional decisions about money because the system makes the decision for you. Let's be honest about what the safety trap actually costs you in the long run. If you're young, your single biggest financial risk is not the market going down. It's running out of money in retirement because you are too afraid of short-term volatility to participate in long-term growth. The stock market has historically returned about 10% annually. Inflation runs at roughly 3%. That gives you a 7% real return, meaning your actual purchasing power grows by 7% per year when you're invested. Cash returns roughly nothing above inflation, which means the gap between holding cash and holding assets is not a small difference in returns. It's the difference between retiring on your terms and working until your body gives out. And here's what nobody talks about with inflation specifically. It's not just the price of groceries, it's the price of your future freedom. If you plan to retire in 25 years and want the equivalent of $1 million in today's purchasing power, you will actually need roughly $2 million or more in nominal dollars to match that purchasing power. If your wealth is sitting in cash, you are running a race against inflation using a strategy that is mathematically designed to fall behind. Investing is the only tool that reliably outpaces that. Here's what I want you to do today, not this month, today. Open your bank app, look at your checking and savings balance, calculate your actual monthly burn rate, what you genuinely spend in a month on essentials, and multiply that by 6. Any money above that number is lazy money. It has a job to do and it's not doing it. Start by opening a high-yield savings account for your emergency fund if you haven't already. Then open a brokerage account and automate a transfer, even a small one, into a low-cost index fund. Let the system run. The uncomfortable truth is that comfort is expensive. The safety trap feels secure, but it delivers slow, guaranteed poverty through inflation. Real security doesn't come from a number sitting still on a screen. It comes from assets that are growing while you sleep. Your future self will either thank the version of you watching this right now or wish they had taken action sooner. If this changed how you think about your savings, Drop a comment below and tell me what your first move is. And if you know someone sitting on too much cash out of fear, share this with them. It might be the most valuable thing you do for them this year. See you in the next one.